So what can we do? For one thing, we can stop plastic getting into the oceans in the first place. Plastic cutlery, straws and bags are often lethal. But I've often wondered if it were possible to do without packaging altogether.
Our aim at Unpackaged is to help customers refill their own containers instead of creating more packaging waste.
So I bring my containers here for everything?
You bring your container. If it's dry goods that you want, you can either bring a bag, or if you bring a Tupperware, we just weigh it first, then you just fill it up. It means you can buy exactly the amount you want as well, which means you don't waste any food.
If I'm a bloke and I'm sort of just didn't plan to do some shopping, then I would have one of these, would I?
That's exactly what you'd have.
I would have a little bag in my pocket or in my... I do actually carry a bag normally. And this...
This is just the next step on. Lots of people are used to going to the supermarket and carrying a reusable bag to put things in. So this is just replacing the packaging to go in your reusable bag.
This is amazing.
When we first started, we started on a market stall. We were given a small grant to test the idea out, to see if anybody was really into the refilling idea. And what we found, and it's still true today, is it takes people 2 or 3 goes to remember to bring their own packaging. First time they forget, second time they forget, third time they remember one thing. After that, it just becomes a new habit. The herbs and spices are really interesting because how many jars do you have at the back of the cupboard where you wanted half a nutmeg for something and you've now got 2 that you don't use and they've gone off?
They've gone off and the jars have become coated in sort of all the frying fat and whatever.
Exactly,
all
so people
sticky.
just come down, bring their jars and we fill them up. Ultimately, it's a good business model. It's cheaper for the supplier to put something in one bulk container than put it in lots of different bits of packaging. It's cheaper for me, I should get a good margin on it, and we should be able to pass it on at an affordable price to our customers, so everybody wins and there's no environmental impact.
People feel so disempowered, but you can reduce, you can reuse, you can recycle, you can influence things in the way you buy things, the things you invest in, educational programs, who you vote for. So there's so many ways that you as an individual can have an impact. And the average person in the UK is using about 200 bottles a year. And a lot of those are getting out into the ocean and creating terrible debris.
The UK alone fails to recycle a staggering 16 million plastic bottles a day. Along with iconic London store Selfridges, London Zoo took the step of removing single-use bottled water from their shelves altogether.
Initially, everyone was really nervous about removing bottled water because it's a big income generator. But when we actually did it and we replaced it with more sustainable alternatives, we found that the economic implications were actually minimal and that people were very supportive and that people want to get behind this campaign and they realize that these have snuck into our lives and we really don't need them.